Welcome back to the Control Pod, everybody. Today I'm joined with a special guest since Alisha has left us for Japan and France. Cancel her, get rid of her and everything. But Francesca, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure. Let's get all the awkward chit-chat out of the way. Please. We've just been yapping away off camera and you've finally, I guess, explored the city a little bit.
Yes, well, my little section of the city. Oh my God, guys, I'm not a city girl, so please.
She's had a morning.
I have had a morning. I don't know how people do this on a daily basis.
Oh, 100%. We're
here, like peak time, it's like 10 a.m. and it's...
Yeah.
And that for me was crazy.
100%. So. I think I need to maybe shift the guest time, maybe like that midday slot. So that is my bad. But
You're so
we're here to chat. I think the best way to get started is, how did we meet? I think that's
our meet
going to be sort of the theme of today is just like the connection piece and starting out in the industry. But how did we meet and then what do you do?
Okay, perfect. So I think... Well, I know for a fact that we met at Joe's event, which is Blueprint. Shout out to Trailer Fit. They're amazing. And I think through Joe, he contacted me to do like some photography. And at the time I was like, absolutely, anything is a good opportunity for me to meet people and also like build a relationship through like with Joe and things like that as well for the future. And I was so nervous, imposter syndrome, like madly. So I got there and I had, honestly, you could probably tell that I felt like I didn't fit in with my camera there and just like roaming around. And then I saw Jadyn and just sort of from there just sparked conversation.
100%. I think at events like that when you see it, like I've been to a wedding once and you sort of just like do your rounds and you go say hi and everything. So it's always good to do due diligence in that sense. Like at that wedding actually, I went up to the DJ and like was like, oh, like I'm Jadyn, just like let me know what you're playing and stuff. Yeah. And then they're now a client.
Yeah.
There you go. Which is just like, well, it's not that you go out thinking that everything is,
but it's like those genuine connections actually like last for sure. And I'm big on that. I'm very big on energy. So as soon as like we introduced to like us into each other, I was like, oh, okay, he's really nice. I feel like I can come to him and like ask questions, or like if I'm a bit like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, like you'll be able to like guide me in the direction that I need to be. So
I appreciate that a lot. No, we had a really good time. Did I ever tell you that I crashed my drone that morning?
No. Wait, but weren't you flying it around?
No, so that was someone else. I was like, oh, I might need to steal their footage low key. But essentially I got there actually super early because I was like, I don't know what this place is going to look like. It was quite a last minute call up from Joe. But I was like, oh, sweet. Like I kind of want to do like an intro transition with like the drone and do like a speed ramp into the actual event. Yeah. So, scouted the area, got set up, went outside, flew the drone up, dodged some wires and everything. And that's like normally the hardest bit. Like when you're taking off, you just want a clear pathway up. Yeah. But because we're in Port Melbourne, it's very much like there's wires everywhere and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Fly it up. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can start. Seagulls. Big pack of them. Smash my drone and it lands on the roof of the Aramex next door.
Oh my God. I feel like that would only happen to someone like me who has no idea who had it.
No, we'll have to talk after, but the amount it was really bad.
Did you get it back?
So the story was, well, eventually, yes, short story. Yeah. And don't want to take away from the podcast as well. No, don't have to apologize. But yes, did get it back. But that morning I was having a morning. Yeah. Right. So...
And also, especially if you already have those like creative ideas of like, okay, like this is something that I can play around with, because with that one creative idea, you spur like 5 other ones. And so I get that. When that first start does not go your way, you're kind of like, oh my God, what do I do?
It was literally first shot of the day.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I have footage of it on its backside on the roof and the seagulls just like
poking out. You could make like a little audio out of that though. That could be pretty cool.
Oh, 100%. So I've got that sitting around. But Francesca, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yes.
I know you as the photographer, but it's been really cool seeing maybe the development for Lazo Visuals. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes, Lazo Visuals.
Lazo Visuals.
Yes.
Very exciting. Talk to us.
Thank you. So I'm Francesca. Do you want my like little bio?
Go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Your elevator pitch. This is where you pitch yourself.
I'm 22 years old. I'm like an American. No, I am American. I'm also South American. Born and raised in Florida. Moved over here to Australia in 2009. Both my parents are Hispanic, so I'm first generation American, like first generation also studying too. So it's a really big deal for me to be over here. Very appreciative. But yeah, I honestly have always been creative. I think from a young age, loved anything creative. Could get my hands on like Play-Doh, I'd make something, like literally, quite literally. Yeah, I started Lazo Visuals, I think about year 11 for me, and it was just honestly a film account. I loved playing around with film, but I never had like a film camera, so I'd always go in like those like disposable cameras. Yeah. So I used to use those all the time, and then all my friends were like, "Oh wow, these are really good," and I was like, "Oh, it's the film camera. Like it's not me. It's the camera," and then from there on, I kept taking film, and I would just post it for fun. It was honestly just like a fun film account. Didn't think much of it. And my friend was like, you should really invest in a camera. Like you should actually start taking photos and like try different things. I was very close-minded at the time. I was very like, no, I have like my eye set on doing like dentistry. Like that was me after high school. I was like, oh, creative isn't going to get me anywhere in life. Like I also had the misconception of like, oh, it's never going to pay well, or like it's never going to work out. It's a hobby and you'll hate it because you'll turn a hobby into a job. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I'll always keep that as a hobby. And then after high school, long story short, I went back to the States, came back to Australia and realized, wow, actually, I think I really want to be a creative person, and creative, like not one sector, not one category, like I want to do everything. So then through there I thought videography was like my favorite thing. I love capturing videos and also making videos with like family events and things like that. So that was really cool. And then I thought, no, to dial it down a little bit more, I want to get into fashion. Then did a full 360. Now I'm into athlete and sports photography. So not even videography yet. So now I'm in photography. So
love it. It's been a wild ride, and I love like conversations like these where you do meet creatives. Like, how did you get in the space as well? And everyone has a different story as well. So whether you are like creative when you're growing up, or maybe you had to do it for a school project or something, like all these different pathways lead to this one sort of common goal.
100%.
I wanted to ask about that dentistry piece as well, because first generation American and study was a really big part of your journey as well. Did you feel like you had to attach yourself to that dentistry piece because you wanted to appease to maybe parents or expectations of yourself?
For sure. I've always had, like my dad passed away before I was born. So a big thing for me was like living up to his name. And I'm his second daughter, but his youngest daughter. And I never had the chance to meet him either. So my mum did a lot for me growing up, and I always thought like I owe it to her. Like a lot of what she sacrificed for us to be together today is like, I want to make it worthwhile for her. So she never put that pressure on me though. I definitely put that pressure on myself. Just because as, you know, her only child, I want to make her proud. And then I think going back home, my first solo trip, going back home, I was there for like 4.5 months, 5 months. I really got to see like, wow, like more connected to like my dad's side of the family, more connected to hers, and like realizing like, wow, like this life is like your life. Like whatever you're going to do, and like you've got to be the best at what you do. So I feel like ever since that really sunk in, I thought like, why am I going to do dentistry? Like, why am I going to pursue something that I'm only doing it quite literally for the status and the money, when it's not something that I'm passionate about or interested about? So yeah. No,
that's beautiful. And I think it's a really powerful lesson to learn those sorts of things as well. I think for me, like studying commerce was like that. I had like done well at school, and I was like, I want to make my parents proud, so I want to do like the highest thing that I can do.
Yeah.
So no, it's well done to sort of discovering that as well. I think it's like, it is quite difficult as well, because you're 22, I'm 23, sort of that patch where you're like discovering yourself as well.
I feel like that for me was, I feel like, oh, I'm running out of time, but I'm like, wait, no, I'm only 22. But I'm like, no, but I'm running out of time. And I'm like, no, I'm only 22. So I'm like constant battle between like, what am I doing? Like, I need to pursue this, or should I be doing this? And like, so I get that completely get that.
100%. I guess I've got sort of questions and everything to go, 100%. But I'm liking the direction of where this is going.
Yeah.
What's it been like sort of transitioning that passion, something that you were downplaying a lot and just saying, oh, like it's not that good and all that sort of stuff, to something where you're wanting to grow and wanting to really hard launch?
I think the discovery of like, wow, like believing in myself. I've put in a lot of time this year for like self-development, like putting myself first, second and third. And I think some people get a bit, oh, but that's really selfish or that's really self-centered. But it's like, if you put in the amount of time for your friends as much as you do for yourself, look at the growth and like abilities that you can like go out and achieve things. You know what I mean? So I think realizing if I can put in that much time for other people, channeling that energy towards myself and seeing like how far I can go. Also too, at the end of the day, like I want to leave my mark. Like everybody wants to leave their mark somewhere in the world, and acknowledging it and not being like shy about it, I think is like your superpower too. So yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, and I feel like I resonate so deeply, even just from the interaction at Trailer Fit. But I think just the fact that we're talking now in sort of similar passages of our lives, like I think for the longest time I didn't want to own the fact that I wanted to be a business owner. I wanted to leave a mark and do something a bit out of the box as well. Yeah. So I love it. Self-love. One thing that I feel like navigating as well, it's sort of that mix of imposter syndrome. Am I good enough? Yeah. Is this the right path for me? What has worked for you?
Honestly, I think like putting myself in the right room with the right people. I think meeting the people when you're like super scared, you'll know off energy. I feel like I'm big on energy. Knowing if like, oh, okay, like this is the right room for me. And then knowing if it's not fulfilling you, walking away from it and being okay to walk away from it. There's a big thing. Don't be in a room where people are trying to dim your light. Everybody has a bright light to shine. And if that person or that group of people, wherever your environment isn't like letting you like shine, then definitely walk away from it. I think that's realizing your strength and what you bring to the table and not letting yourself, like those inner voices sort of like bring you down. I think it's a big thing.
I think that's best notion and best way to do it as well. Was there a particular maybe incident or something that brought you to this realization?
I think seeing how other people around me were being built up, like by like just words of affirmation, things like that, like support. And I was like, why am I not getting that from like where I am? So it's like, okay, like what can I do differently? What's around my environment that isn't allowing me to flourish the way I want to? And then I think since then I've been a lot better, like being more open-minded, especially to like being in other rooms.
Love it. It's that introspection that's so important as well. I think a lot of the time some people, I've received comments where it's like, oh, you're so lucky.
Oh my God, you make your own luck though. Like you don't like, and it's so true. People would instantly be like in that moment of like, oh wow, you're so lucky. You think, you go, well, not really, but like I can't believe I've gotten to the stage of like where other people can say that, which is a big. It's like it's sort of like that thing of like almost like a compliment, but is it a compliment?
It's like a backhanded compliment.
Yes, a backhanded compliment. 100%. Yes, and I'm like, well, I don't know if you would say so, but thanks, I guess.
Yeah, like, definitely. I've noticed that more and more as well, particularly like since moving out as well. People are like, oh, you're living the high life and that sort of stuff. I'm like, well, like, yes, it's awesome. It's beautiful to be here. It is a lot of hard work to accumulate that momentum to get to where we are. And I never want anyone to discredit that as well. Yeah. Particularly for creatives, I think sometimes you're like, oh, it's just pointing a camera.
Or someone goes, oh, it's just the camera you're using. Oh, like, as much as it is the camera that I'm using, it's also the person behind it to be able to, like, use the settings and take the photos. And, like, you can't just, like, disregard someone's, like, creative eye. Like, your eye is going to be different to my eye and vice versa. And oh, that comment. Oh, my God. That annoys me. Trigger.
All right, we're moving on. Well, so transitioning from maybe, like, your standard disposable film camera where you felt like, oh, I'm just pointing and shooting and that sort of stuff. Obviously, there's elements of creativity that goes into that, getting the angle and stuff. Yeah. When did you start picking up maybe the camera and getting a bit more technically proficient? Yeah,
well, I still, to this day, fun fact, I don't have my own camera. I've been borrowing some, like, my coach's equipment, and he's my big mentor. So he's definitely the one who changed the whole space for me completely. If it wasn't for him, shout out Sean, love you, Sean. If it wasn't for him, like, I don't think I'd be where I am today and like talking to you and like being at Trailer Fit. So through him, he has a Sony, like a nice camera. And he was like, yeah, just use it anytime you want. Like, come in and take some photos. And that for me was like, I went from an iPhone person taking photos to like, oh my God, I've never really actually held like a camera before. So doing that and him, you know, giving me a lot of constructive feedback, which I love feedback, really helped me. And definitely still navigating it, still learning it.
Honestly, same.
I'm still like, oh, it's a little dark. Like, okay, let me just change this up, I guess. And like people go, oh, you know what you're doing? I'm like, yeah. Literally not.
I think everyone's winging it, to be honest.
No, quite literally. And each environment's always going to be different. So I'm still learning it. But I feel really good about it now. Like, I'm definitely more confident. I'm definitely like, I feel myself growing, and I think not putting myself in just one category is so important, because then I'm not going to be closed off to like other opportunities coming around. So yeah.
And I think this is good to sort of reflect on everything that you've been saying. Like, you build your own luck, it's putting yourself in the right room with the right people as well, and they're definite signs that you're going to be a successful person as well.
I hope so.
Well, I think like just baseline, it's like, who do you meet? Who are the people that you surround yourself with that are going to bring you up on this journey?
Yeah.
Yes, they might not be necessarily the exact same path.
Yeah.
But if they share the same aspirations and that
for me,
sort of value as well, then you're going to grow.
Oh, 100%. And I feel like you know instantly on value of like your values versus like your morals and things like that are so important. Your outlook on life, like, some people go like, oh, it's such a negative life. But I'm like, no, I think like you look at the negative, you're going to have a negative life. Like, if you look at the positives, you're going to have a positive life. So things like that.
Love
Very
it.
big on.
What has been the most unexpected opportunity that's come across your table?
Ooh, probably this. Honestly,
this podcast.
I've never in my life was like,
first time
I've never been on a podcast. Like, all my friends always say to me like, Fran, you should start a podcast because like your voice is very soothing. I'm like, really? I was like, I don't know about that, but okay.
We'll have to see. Isaac will do all the things that he does.
Isaac, I'm so sorry. This is really scratchy. Apologies. No, but yeah, I think I've always wanted to be on a podcast. I'm so grateful that it's yours. Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure.
But yeah, I can yap for ages, so definitely this.
I know, we're trying to keep these episodes short. So
I'm so sorry, guys.
No, all good. It's my job as the facilitator to keep time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So thank you.
No, privilege is on my end, to be honest. I love the feeling that you get from podcasting, because I think I don't know, in a world where short form content is dominating and it's becoming almost this like short form fast food.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think authentic conversations, meeting people, gets lost under a lot of the, I want to say it's like, so people call it like storytelling. Yeah. And then sometimes, but is it storytelling? Oh, I mean, it is storytelling because it's like heavily scripted and you're trying to get a particular message out. But I think just sitting down, getting a feel for someone and how they are.
Just authentic conversation. I definitely feel like when I scroll on my feed, I'm like, oh, like, yeah, it's real. But at the same time, I'm like, how am I fueling my mind? How am I fueling like my thinking process? We need more podcasts like this, I think. Definitely.
Absolutely. On the topic of that and like feeling your mind and stuff, where do you feel like you get a lot of your inspiration from? Do you feel like there's a particular maybe genre, movies, those sorts of things that you gravitate towards?
Anything cinematic. I feel like anybody in the creative space loves cinematic stuff, but creators who just go out and like in our own city and like are taking videos of like the trains and the people, I think things like that, like people watching, it fuels my drive. Also just being able to like tell a story, like telling a really nice story and like leaving someone with that feeling of like hope is like so beautiful.
I love hope core.
Yeah. No, literally it's hope core, but like it's so true. I feel like leaving someone with that sense of like emotion of like feeling good or feeling inspired, feeling like, whoa, like I can take on today is like, I think that's where I get my inspiration from to do what I want to do. So,
I love it. I think I resonate with that a lot as well. I think there's some people maybe who get a lot of drive from like movies and that inspiration. And I feel like I'm not actually a big movie person, despite being a videographer. I don't know. Like, I've never gravitated towards that. But it's that idea of what feeling can you leave people with. Yeah. So the idea of the podcast is like a warm, fuzzy, motivated, inspired
100%,
feeling, right?
100%.
And just like getting to know people and knowing that you aren't alone in this journey too.
Yes.
So what has that been like? Because it sounds like maybe the connections were already there. They just had to sort of been, like you maybe had to peel back a few layers to get to the creative side. But what was that like?
So I actually met my friend Isabel. Shout out Isabel, 4K Silky. I love her. She's an incredible photographer. Through her, I actually assisted her on one of the shoots, and I did a lot of the BTS content for that. Through that, that's when I sort of she said to me, you need to get a camera. Like, you need to get a camera. What are you doing? And she'd always like have these events on, and she does these like yearbook photos events. Actually, one's coming up next week, which is quite exciting. It's her final one to close the chapter of her 4-year mark doing it. And I was lucky enough to be invited to it. So through there, networking with other photographers, other people who are in the music industry, creative scene, it's definitely only for those creatives, people who have their own businesses and they do their own marketing and things like that, getting in contact. And the first time I went last year, I was so shy. I did not know how to present myself, because I obviously wanted to present myself as a photographer, but I'm not a photographer. I don't even own a camera. So I think that was really hard. And then from there, just keep networking. I'd go and do BTS scenes for like her other photo shoots as well, and get to know the models and things like that. And through there, just foster those relationships. I did a little bit of modeling as well last year through her, like through her connections, through the people I met at that event. So I think definitely being open-minded and putting yourself, like, everyone's faking it. Everyone is faking it till they make it. Like, you think someone has confidence, oh my God, I promise you, no, they don't. Like, they're really good at hiding it. Like, I always say to people, I'm an introvert until you get to know me, I'm an extrovert. So yeah.
100%. I love that so much. And
I don't know, hopefully that answered the question. I feel like I just rambled on.
I'm just prompting. I'm listening. I'm enjoying the ride, which is great. But yeah, far out. I feel like the big theme is putting yourself in those situations as well. I know there's some people who are maybe more introverted and that sort of stuff. Like, has anything helped in particular to build your confidence up?
I think just like, if you know you like something, go with that. Like, be proud of like what you're into. Be proud of like, you know, what your hobby is and your passion is, and don't be afraid to yap on about it. That the right people that you're supposed to be with and meet and have in your life, they're gonna sit there and listen. They're gonna, you know, interject in those conversations, be like, oh my God, like, I love this. And you know you're a creative person when two people, like, you know, there's two creative people having conversation when they ramble about like 10 different topics, 10 different genres in like the span of like 10 seconds. It's like this, that, like, it's popcorning. And I love that. I feel like for me, especially when I get nervous, I just like ramble. But like, I love when someone will interject and like, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, this is a flowing conversation.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, it comes down to that notion of shock horror. Your passions obviously show through, because immediately, and I can already tell, it's like you're more upbeat, you're sitting like further forward, you're more like energetic and prone to talking about it. So that's probably like one big thing to circle back to when you're trying to figure out, oh, what is my passion? Like, what do I actually enjoy? 100%. It's like the things that you can like feel.
Exactly.
You feel it. It's a feeling.
And also like at big events too, when there's so many creative people, you sort of like, it's hard not to like compare yourself, but knowing that like they were once at your stage and you will soon get to where they are and above. Like, it's all a growing process. Like, I think from a year ago today, I would never have thought that I'd be here and like be in the position that I'm at. I was very steady focused on only fashion shoots, only like those really cool scenic things in the city with like fashion and styling, and now I'm doing sports photography. Like, I would have never thought in a million years that I'd do that. And that's literally thanks to my mentor, Sean. And then the opportunities through him and then Joe as well. So, yeah.
Definitely. Well, I'd be lying if I said that Control hasn't been a very tiring project. And I know that it's going to be a big build or a slow build as well. But I was talking to my therapist and he was like, you know, how are you feeling? And I was like, I feel like every day is like this big hill that you have to climb. And it's sort of like, I would say I'm pretty optimistic and I'm ready for a challenge, and like every day is like pushing through.
But it's like sometimes you're like, damn, I just want to take the backpack off and sit down for a little minute.
But
so
that's what he said. That's literally what he said. He said sometimes it's okay to just take the backpack off and actually turn around and look at all the hills that you have climbed as well. Yeah. And that opened up a lot for me because in the past I have banged on about smelling the roses, look how far you've come. But then sometimes when you're maybe in this like momentum phase or you see other people, then it's hard not to compare and
100%.
and to feel a bit down about yourself.
No,
sometimes.
for sure. I think definitely like comparison is a thief of joy. Yes. That's my biggest one. And I'm like, every time I catch myself like sitting there like being sad about like what I don't have, I'm like, whoa, but like look at what I have and maybe what they don't have. Like it's always going to be that constant reminder of like it's okay, like, and you will get there and you build your own luck. So I definitely think you're doing like control, like look at it like it's amazing. And the fact that you and your partner have done so well for like just being the two of you to be able to really go head on with it all, like it's incredible. It's definitely inspired me. So if you need that affirmation, it's definitely inspired me. So,
I appreciate that. And
of course.
It's like if we can inspire other people to do the same or just pick their passion and go with it, then absolutely.
Yeah. Yay.
What has sort of ticked you over the line for trying new things and that sort of stuff? Was it meeting more people or were you maybe burning out in the fashion industry?
I think just really what ticked me over was just not to be too focused on one thing. I feel like if I can't get somewhere with fashion and styling, let's try something else. I still have I still have the hand and the eye for, fashion and styling, but I think maybe that's just not where I'm supposed to be right now, and that's okay. So let me try something else. And I was very open. I've always been super open-minded that at the end of the day, I want to be a creative director. So whatever that is and whatever that looks like, if I have more tools under my belt sort of thing, the more I know how to like do different little things, I'd be more valuable to someone in the future. And also the people that I get to meet along the way. Like I'd be more than grateful to meet, Kim K one day, but also like Lewis Hamilton too. Like I would not mind. So either way, shout out. Hopefully one day they see this and go, wow, manifesting it. I
know, putting it on the record as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, because like I've always said to myself, I'm like, it would be really nice to work for like the company Skims. I love I don't know if people know what that is, but it's her own brand. And I think her creative director at the moment is doing an incredible job. Like it's always with what's trending, but in such a classical and not fast fashion way where it's like, oh, it'll die down. Like it's very iconic for its time, bringing back what was super iconic back then too. Just knowing how to do all of that, but also I feel like it's part of the journey. You have to like start from somewhere to appreciate it at the top. So yeah,
100%. I love that, and I love where your sort of mindset is, and it's coming through the way that you speak as well. Have there been moments where maybe you have been in the room with maybe the wrong people that has been suffocating at all?
Yeah, I think so. When I feel like I know when my social battery is super drained is when I'm like with people that aren't really aligning with how I see myself growing. It could just either be very like materialistic or very superficial, very like everything has to be transactional. Of course, like with anything, you're always going to, transactional like energy and things like that. But sometimes you walk away and you're like, oh my God, that's definitely not what I want to be like. And I hope I don't sound like that. So I think realizing that when I walk away, I'm like, okay, I now know how to preserve my energy so I don't give too much of myself to the wrong people.
Protecting you.
And it's hard though. Yeah. You learn as you go through it.
Oh, definitely. So, yeah. I think now's the best time, like young adults, early 20s. Yes. I've noticed like I was doing some reflection as well. Like at my 21st, there was 150 odd. It was just God. Like, but now that circle's probably slimmed down to 10, 15, 20 people. Yeah. And for someone who maybe was like a people pleaser in the past and still am, like very much navigating it.
Me too. Yeah. Me too.
I think it was a pretty tough pill to swallow. Yes. Particularly you look around and you're like, oh, these are all my mates. And like, oh, it's so good. Yeah. But then how many of them are like deep connections?
And also too, like I feel like being a creative person, you'd think like, oh my God, I have so many friends, I have so many this. but like, who's actually there supporting you? And that for me was a hard pill to swallow for sure. Like, realizing when I started Lazo Visuals, I still want it to be something that I don't know what I want it to be. So it's still a baby, it's still growing. But realizing like, wait, how many of my actual friends are like, you know, supporting me through this journey? How many of my friends are actually there, like, liking my stuff, like, or not even liking. I know that sounds like so ridiculous, but
it sounds surface, but it matters.
It
right?
matters though, because
exactly.
at the end of the day, it's like, it's your passion project. Like, when someone starts a small business, like, are you purchasing from your friend, or are you just asking, you know, for
like
once off
discount
thing? Things
yeah.
like that. I think is respecting. And that's for anybody who owns a business, whether that's creative or whether that's, you know, like a salon or things like that. I think everyone struggles with this, sort of like respecting your friends' hustle. So
I posted, I think you replied to it, but I reposted this thing on my story where it was like, I don't know, the 4 rules to helping a small supporting your small business mates.
Yeah, I sent it to 2 of my my friends who own their businesses, and they're like,
it's actually like,
yes,
it's so it costs nothing to reshare someone's piece of content that they've probably put a few hours into.
Yes,
it costs nothing to just message them and reaffirm that, like, you're doing a great
looks
job.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Or like even just liking it, like a small little like to know that you've watched it, and like, I'm the same. I feel like only people who put in the hard work for their stuff will understand like that feeling of like, damn, like, you think like, oh no, all my friends support me, but you look back and you're like, wait, do they though?
Takes one to know one though.
Takes one to know one. 100%. Yeah.
Oh, jinx.
Sorry.
No.
My bad.
No, literally. So I think, how has that been actually? Like, do you feel like some of the relationships maybe have sort of dwindled or?
Yeah,
or
I definitely think, like, and I know that not all people like are chronically online, so I completely understand that. But come on, at this day and age, I feel like most of us are all online. So definitely just knowing not to take it personal and knowing that it's okay. But also, I only want to be with people that are going to build me up, like, as a friend. But if you can't be there for me on like things like that, then you're not going to be there for me when I'm going through it. So knowing to be like, it's okay, like, end of the day, like, you were part of an amazing chapter in my life, and it's okay to close that chapter because another chapter is going to be right around the corner. So,
well, it's that notion of I say it's that notion for so many things.
No,
but, it's the idea of like good friends, or the best way to tell if someone is a good friend is not when they're just supporting you when you're on your down, but when they're supporting you when you're on the up as well. So.
Yes, that one, 100%. And also knowing, like, when you are on the up, like, what are they saying when you're on the up? Like, oh, I've known this, I was there helping them and things like, but it's like, were you there? Like, were you really there? Like, one of my friends said the same thing recently. Her business is like now becoming really successful, and she was saying like, oh, so many people coming out the woodwork of like, yeah, I knew you when you were like, well, yeah, you did, but like, we weren't close, like, we weren't friends, you weren't there supporting me when I needed it. So yeah,
tall puppy.
Yeah. Yes.
big thing,
and that's a big thing here.
It is. Yeah,
Americans don't really know what that is.
I know they don't actually. It was funny because I went to one of these conferences, and controversial guy JT Fox, I think he was like he always talks about how he's like a 7-figure or like 8-figure, one of those people. But he was saying the stark contrast between Americans is Americans will build you up, and then when you fall, they'll come for you as well. Like, they'll be supporting you until you fall off like a 13-story
cancel
building.
culture.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. So that's the notion in America, and then in Australia, it's literally like they want to stomp you into the ground before you can even start to go.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I said that to my friends. They're like, how are you feeling, like, with everything there? And I'm like, oh, I just feel like I have tall poppy syndrome. She's like, what's that? And I was like, you know, haven't you ever heard the notion of like when someone's like tearing you down on the come up? She goes, what? People do that? They're like, wouldn't they want to be supporting you? I'm like, well, different worlds, different across the sea. I don't know, different worlds.
Absolutely, so yeah. It is a pretty sad thing, and
it is, and it's hard. I don't know how like our generation can break that for the generations to come. I just feel like, don't know. It's probably it's a cultural thing, because I think the Australian way is like, everyone's super laid back, super chill. So when someone sees that they're working really hard, it's like, oh, why do you care so much? Which is such a bad mentality to have, I think. Like, people are allowed to care. So we're so off topic.
No, it's, well, it's a big thing, I think, with creatives and doing something a little bit different. Like, I studied commerce.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I was on the path to be like a finance bro.
Oh my God. Do you have a finance bro? Yeah. Doesn't have the same ring as like Jadyn Controller. Yeah.
Well, I studied commerce because I wanted to get into business and I had a passion for business. But very different way of learning and teaching.
Yes.
And just didn't agree with the system. But yeah, I think.
I always feel though, like whatever you were meant to be on, like you were meant to be there at that time. You've learned so much from commerce that like you can in little ways put it into your business and knowings in the future as well. I'm a very big believer of like, don't regret anything. Like everything was meant to happen the way it was supposed to be where you are today.
Absolutely. You are where you're meant to be.
Yes.
And I stand by that as well. It's like, well, why are we having a slow month? Well, we are where we're meant to be. Are we going out too much? Are we procrastinating work? There's always a reason for where you are.
Yes.
And sometimes, the cards that you dealt are really bad, but would you rather stand there complaining about it or like
make
work
something
a little
out of
bit
it?
harder?
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah. Where to next with Lazo Visuals?
Honestly, it's on a rebrand. I think
the loading page is staring at me.
The loading page has been sitting there for quite some time, and all my friends are like, "What are you doing? What's going on?"
The suspense is killing me.
And I'm like, "Good, that's where I want you to." Like, I want more people to see and be like, "What's going on?" I want it to be not its own agency, but as I'm the only person doing it, sort of just be a service where it's not just one thing. I think at the moment on there was a lot of like fashion, film. It had so much of my work that I didn't want to let go of, but I thought, okay, I'm becoming a new version of myself, so does this. And once I can create something consistently, then maybe I can bring back all of those other things as well. But I want to display more like versatility. So sports photography, I want to be able to display like fashion and styling, but in small doses where it's not just like, what the heck is this page? So having it be really planned out with, like a content diary. So knowing like, okay, this is the day that I'm posting my about stuff. I'm still learning who I am and what I'm about. So I feel like it would do a disservice to the account if I just posted. So still building. Yep. Give me some time, guys. But definitely I think hopefully soon, once I know more about what I want to do, then it'll become something very special for sure.
I agree. Yeah. And I think I see this with one of my mates, Jack. Shout out to Jack. He, I think, so for my content journey, actually, I would shitpost. Yeah. And I was like, just post. And then I did this 100 days in pursuit, sort of thing. And then I look back and I'm like, but what was I in pursuit of as well? And I still don't really know as well. Like, what are we in pursuit of? Well, now it's to be an entrepreneur with a camera, build control, and document it. Yeah. Right? That's like my purpose and the vision for it. And why I mentioned Jack is because he's become so crystal clear with his purpose of empowering young men to be a bit more authentic, have deeper connections and relationships. So he's gone balls to the wall with it, and he's just taken off on Instagram. And it's obviously not about the following and everything. No,
but it goes to show when you have like intention behind what you post, like people see that and people feed off that. If you have no intention of like, what are your intentions behind everything that you're posting, people are like, okay. They don't appreciate it as much as like when you do have that. So I think that's the other thing that I've quickly realized, that I'm like, okay, I don't want to just post to post. I want it to be something meaningful, especially separating like my personal account to my business account. For the longest time, I didn't want my name to be associated with it, because I don't know if you found that when you have your personal name, you find that not many people want anything to do with it, and I don't know what it is. So a lot of people were like, maybe at the start just have it something completely detached from you. Don't have it in your Instagram and your personal things, like don't tag it or anything like that. I'm like, okay, but why? And see if it would grow on its own. It did for a little bit, and now I put my name to it because I'm like, no, it's something for me, and I want that. I want that to be about me.
100%. It is really interesting you bring that up, because there's obviously the trend or more prominence around personal branding on social media. So what is your personal brand? What do you stand for? That's the reason why businesses or people are going to work with you, right? So, but then when you make the name of the business maybe your name as well, it is interesting that people almost like shy away from it.
Yes.
And you see that a lot with maybe like personal trainers.
Yes.
People who say like fit with, and then it's like their fucking name as well. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You're like, why? But no, I feel like my last name comes from like, so I'm half Cuban, half Venezuelan, and Lazo is such a unique and rare Cuban last name. It's from my dad's side of the family, which is Cuban, which is such a rare and unique name. So I'm like, not many people have any idea.
Like any association
to it. And people say it's, the way you say it is Lazo, so like double S-O, like L-A-S-S-O, but it's spelled with a Z. That's like how it's spelled. So I felt like that's pretty interesting. So I'm like, it's me, but it's more for my dad. It's more definitely in his honor and like in his name. So I thought that was really special, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah.
I love maybe when people break down like the name and the meaning, and especially when it has that much weight to it.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's something that you want to like show up for every day to grow and everything.
I think that's why I want to take it seriously. I don't want to just, mess around with it anymore. I'm like, okay, I'm 22, like I'm starting to get my footing out, but also I think I have the fear of posting my work. Oh my God. I don't know if you find this as well, but maybe at the beginning stages of control, just posting any of my work, I'm like, oh, like, is it going to get liked? I don't think so. It's okay. But like, still dealing with that. So,
No, I mean, all the best. We're always here to chat with it as well, because it's a thing. Like, you obviously take pride in the work that you do, and you want other people to see it and to resonate with it. It's a form of like entertainment or education. And then the other one is something else. Emotion. Like you want to evoke an emotion. So they're the 3 E's when it comes to posting. And of course, like you want it to be validated by people liking and sharing and those sorts of things. I think what's helped with maybe my stuff is a lot of it is client work. So to actually have the trailer fit video as like a side project, that's like what's kept me really like excited about it, because I was able to have creative freedom. There was not really a brief. There was sort of like, we want this like grungy vibe to it.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Like,
perfect.
Yeah, let me cook.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So we wish you all the best.
Oh, thank you so much.
On behalf of Control. I think, the idea is obviously to not just keep it as a loading page too. We want to see you grow, and we want to see you do your thing.
Thank you so much.
So good.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you want to sort of end on? So I feel like I'll jump in and talk a bit about like what people could learn from this episode, because I think it's been an awesome chat about obviously putting yourself in the right room with the right people, 100%. And I think that's the crux of it, right?
Yes, for sure.
You wouldn't be in the position, nor would I, if we had not met people down the path where
100%.
we felt encouraged, we felt empowered to actually take the step and take the leap to back ourselves in and really use our skills to our advantage.
Yes.
So I've really loved that as well, and I think it's really cool to see your journey and how you've grown as a person, and I'm really keen to see where Lazo does go.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully we'll do a bit of a collab soon. It'll be great.
I think we will. I think it's in the works in the future, for sure. 100%.
100%.
I think definitely ending on, don't be afraid to put yourself in those rooms of people. Don't be afraid to speak about what you're passionate about, and also like knowing your worth of like what you bring to the table. And if you don't know, just do some soul searching. I think, going for a walk, picking up something, your pen, your paper, a camera, like taking photos of what you like to do, and just play around with it and then enjoy that for yourself. But also don't be afraid to put your work out there. I know I'm still like struggling with it, but like just do it, because there's going to be someone that comes across it and goes, wow, like I love it. And that's what I do. I sometimes sit on Lazo's account and just like go through other like creators and like show so much love and care and repost and share their stuff, because it's incredible work, and it's a community that we all need to, especially with AI coming in, we need to like keep encouraging those like eyes and keeping them sharp. So
absolutely. Where can people find you?
Well, they can find me at Lazo Visuals. I think it's I don't even know how to spell my
We'll have them in the show notes below.
It's Lazo Visuals though. And then my personal is Francesca. So yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
It was such a good chat.
Guys.
Yay. We'll catch you in the next episode. Be sure to rate the show 5 stars and chuck it a follow. Yes. Give it a share.
Give it a share. They're all free. Follow. It's all free. Guys, we just talked about it in this episode. You would know if you watched it. So,
Exactly. Thanks for staying on so long.
It'll be great.
Take care.